What's your take? Let's just look at the broader point about the moral heart of the Democrats. It just seems to have completely gone. It's just power for its own sake, right?
Well, look, I think that the difference is that we saw a hologram, and we were told that there was a heart in the Democrats. Having come from the left, I can tell you that this has been intrinsic in most of what they've done, and I would caution you. And it's like you're a good guy, and you're thinking that Bernie Sanders means well and Tulsi Gabbard means well. But in fact, I think that whether it's Elizabeth Warren or Jerry Brown or others, that it's always about, watch what they do, not what they say. And I don't think that this, in fact, is a change for them. It's just simply the curtain has been pulled back. That now there is the veneer. Okay. The veneer is gone because of the level of desperation. They've had the media on their side from the beginning for them, right? For generations. The ability to control the communication in the media about who they are and what they are has been eliminated. And as a result, that's added to their chaos. So as someone who is, of course, a community organizer for the left, I would suggest to everyone that this is not some new collapse. This is who they've always been. This is what has been running the country when a Democrat has been president, with the exception even to some degree of Bill Clinton, who actually liked governing. But underneath that was the rot of the fraud of what the Democrats were always bringing. He was a feminist and he'd go to church with the Bible, and then look at what it is they were doing. This is who the Democrats have been. It is more extreme now, and it's not going to change. It's not like, we can get good Democrats in. I'm afraid, Steve, really, this is over for them. That Donald Trump is an example of, not necessarily a Republican, but of the populist framework, with a president who likes the American people and is going to do the right thing. And fortunately for us, it's the conservative ideal and the free market that improves people's lives. And we've got to, I think, watch him on other issues. But that's what I think we've got here.
So you tried to work with these people in the House.
There are some good, decent people, but the difference, as you pointed out, Steve, is the leadership within the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
They're inciting violence. They're inciting these mobs, and they're acting upon it. It wasn't too long ago, one of my colleagues and very good friend, Steve Scalise, had an assassination attempt when a man with a gun is shooting at him at a ball game. And for these leaders to go out there and embrace the resistance movement, this scorched earth that says,
right. It's this
let's
right
go
from
take everybody.
Day one, right? The resistance. Exactly.
That's what they want. That's it, because they don't have policies to run on. They can't believe that Donald Trump became the president of the United States. They lost their heads. And now the only thing they want is chaos. So they say, well, we have to have a change. They don't have ideas to run on. What they run on is resistance and this mob to try to have this scorched earth so that America will look at this and say we need a change.
And I think the other bit, I just want to get you to respond on the identity politics bit, because I thought that the way that Warren thing, okay, we can laugh and it's a joke and all the rest of it, the DNA test, but it tells you something. That actually, to get anywhere, you've got to go with this identity politics thing. That's
and I know people who are from Latin America who were really offended by what she did, and the fact that she has been using this stolen valor and cultural appropriation to get ahead in her career, as opposed to having, a merit-based law career, which the Democratic Party right now, it's not merit-based, certainly. It's all about this hyperbole, and they've run out of ideas. And Anne's right. You can't rationalize with a mob, but there's also no logical chain laid out that if you start with us here, we will get you there. Resistance is not enough. And that doesn't feed people, that doesn't get people promotions, that doesn't send kids to college. It really doesn't. And that was a turning point for a critical part of the country that had completely disavowed identity politics because it had done nothing for them for decades.
And now they're bringing it's the center. Yes,
Can
go
I
for it,
just add
Tammy.
one thing? Is that when Hillary said, and this is key, that we can have civility again when we win. And what she's saying is, like any batterer, that if you comply and you do what we say, we'll stop hurting you. That was that talk about the compulsion to confess, right? That was what her message was. If you do what we want, we'll stop doing this.
Great point.
The American people cannot allow that to work. They can't allow that to work.
I know. Great point. I love that point. It's great. And by the way, it's not just resistance is enough. Resistance is futile. That's the point we need to make with Anne sitting